5 minutes after the hour. There's usually some stragglers, but this is the first time this group has met. Usually what we do is we go around the room. Everybody has a minute to tell us who you are, what you do, and who you want to meet by vocation. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So, Maria, why don't we start with you?
Okay, me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Maria. I'm based in California, in Camarillo. So what I do, I'm a business consultant. I'm a trainer. I'm a speaker. I've worked with global companies as well as small businesses and startups with their brand, marketing, business plans, and sales programs. So I basically help the leaders optimize their assets and then help engage their internal, meaning their employees and external clients, and hopefully increase their bottom line. So I'm looking for or connect with, leaders in the organizations. So whether it be, in a CPG, consumer product goods, auto, which I've also handled. So anybody at this point, I might say small business leaders who would like to, step up and increase their profits and optimize their resources.
I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman named Kaliche Amada, I think it is. He deals in high-end luxury cars. I think he'd be a really, really good resource.
Yeah, I work with Mercedes-Benz as well too, and Toyota. So.
Okay, the other one, I don't know. In my morning meeting, another gentleman named Scott Harrell. He deals with a lot of antique cars.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's involved in clubs and stuff like that. I'll introduce you to him as well.
Well, thank you.
All right. So who's next? Who wants to go next? You want to go, since you were the first one here, Jeremy? Why don't you go?
Sure. So my name is Jeremy Vaught. I'm a CFP financial planner with Prudential. And really what I do, what my goal is, I'm all about just helping people. And the way I like to put it, my little 2-minute bill is essentially I build a roadmap for people. Everyone's trying to get from point A to point C, whatever C is, whether it's retirement, whether it's getting a new car, getting a new house, something along those lines. And I always try to find what the best route to get there is for people. And I like to be the one-stop shop, and you come to me if you have any question financial, really. I work with any product out there. I do investments from insurance, annuities, managed accounts, whatever the case may be, 401ks. I've worked with about everything. So that's really my goal, is to work with as many people and help them reach those financial goals that they're striving for.
So, yeah, financial planners. I love working with financial planners because they work with people, right? And they want to meet more and more people. That's your key. Do you get most of your business by referral?
I do.
For each and every one of the people at this meeting today, go to Google and type in, what did I tell you? I got to think what I typed in earlier. Something like, how do most people grow their business? Type that in, and you should come up with an article by Forbes magazine. And I have done that year after year. I've repeated it. Forbes magazine, Harvard Business Review, Entrepreneur magazine all say that over 60% of their new business comes from referrals. So the beauty of what we get to do is we get to talk to people, right? So by the way, put your contact information into the chat room, if you will, please, so that people can be in touch with you. And when we're done with the meeting, Marie, who's the Welcome to My City sign. She'll send that. If you put your information in the chat room, she will send you a copy of it so you can see, and phone numbers and all that good stuff. All right. So Melissa, you're next. Lucky you.
That's okay. It gets it out of the way. I'm multitasking here. I have a 9-year-old coming home in 2 hours. So I'm a bookkeeper and I'm also an ordained minister. I'm growing my bookkeeping business right now, specialize in accounts payable, accounts receivable, and payroll up to 50 employees. I've been doing it since I was 16. And
Oh, wow.
I've been 29, 14 times now. So my 9-year-old goes, Mommy, moms don't get older than 29. So all you moms, remember that. No older than 29.
There you go. Where are you out of?
Palmdale, California.
Oh, that's
So
right.
it's like,
yeah.
it's 30 minutes south of Rosamond and an hour north of LA.
Gotcha.
But the traffic is the worst in the United States. From the 14 to LA, it has the worst traffic.
Really? Wow. Incredible stuff.
It's insanity. They even say we rate higher than Moscow now.
Really? It's insane. This is insane. All right, Juan, you want to unmute yourself and tell us who you are?
Yeah. Well, I'm the 9 to 5 guy on a job. I know Maria Guevara for several years, kind of lost contact. We were on the insurance industry. I stepped away for a minute during COVID and prior to those years. But I'm just checking in and see what you guys are, offering. Really, I'm a general manager right now on a produce company. My background is basically automobiles for 20 plus years, and just recently about 4 years as a general manager with produce, organic lettuce.
Where are you out of?
In Oxnard, here in California.
Gotcha. So
Juan, it's so nice to, I'm sorry, Bob. It's just, it's so nice to connect with Juan again. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't have a camera. I'm working on my desktop, and then I have a laptop, but it's a work laptop, so I left it at work. And it happens that I'm off for the next 2 weeks, so that's why I'm joining. It's kind of hard for me to get
what are you going to do for 2 weeks?
I got a bunch of stuff to do. I gotta replace the roof on my house, work on some windows, and off of work to work on my house.
I hear you. Well, the weather should be perfect, except for the hurricane.
It should be, except for the next Sunday and Monday, but yeah, other than that, we should be okay.
Yeah. So how do you two know each other?
From another company, life insurance.
Yes, we both have like life insurance licenses, and I work with Juan there for a time. So
Oh, wow.
I'm happy to get in touch with Juan again.
So yeah, it's nice to. I love doing what I'm doing. I'm a LinkedIn. Maybe I'll tell people who I am.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Bob Friedenthal, Friedenthal. On LinkedIn, you'll find me under Karen, Caryn, and Bob Friedenthal. And Friedenthal means peaceful valley in German. But my wife will never attest to that. She won't agree to it.
Okay.
The other thing she tells me is, she says, you don't know how to multitask. I said, you're absolutely right. I quadruple task. I'm in 4 places at the same time doing multiple things, right? Isn't that what we all are doing?
Yep.
We have a crazy society now, and it's only going to get worse, right? Before it gets better.
Exactly.
So it's our responsibility to keep it healthy. So I've been on the internet, just so you understand. I've been on the internet over 30 years. I got started in the internet. I had a computer company at that point. And I told my business partner when I found the internet, there was only something like 30 or 60 million people in the entire world on the internet. And so I said, this is going to be the next big thing. This is where I'm going to go. And so my partner gave me 1 year and 9 months to take over a massive amount of overhead. And I tell everybody I pulled it off by the skin on my teeth. And I've never looked back. I just love what I'm doing. The whole key to this, what we do is always about people, right? So it's being introduced as 9/10 of the law. That if you go look, where do most people meet? Forbes, as I said earlier, Harvard Business Review, they meet by being referred by somebody else. So small group here, but how many people are getting their business by referrals?
Most of them. Yep.
Yep. Juan, how about you?
Yeah, it's by referrals. I'm not involved in sales, but actually it's how we get it, by clients, referring other clients, referring to businesses.
Yep. Makes it a lot more. B&I has a motto.
Yeah.
Giver's gain. Dr. Ivan Meisner started B&I probably close to somewhere around 40 years ago. And his psychologist was my client, just so you know the history of where my mentality has been. And that's where I learned the motto, giver's gain. It's such an appropriate statement. So I've said you got to give to get, but on top of that, I created a referral software that of introducing people. And that has, like today, just today alone, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 referrals given in today's meeting. And last week, we had 23 people in attendance and 22 referrals were given. The week before that, now I typically host these meetings every week. I'm co-hosting this with Maria. And the week before, we had 20 in this one particular group. We had 26 people show up. And during the week, there were 24 referrals given. I like to follow up with people, see how the meeting went. And I'm a firm believer that you build your business by referral, right? Especially a CFP credential, you said, right?
Correct.
They must do tons of training about how to grow your business, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
And I can tell you, I came from Ameriprise originally, and they were the same way. I mean, it's almost every week you can have a webinar on growing your business from different, whether it's mutual fund firms or the company itself.
Interesting. Yeah, I had joined BNI a few years back, and it's very specifically based on how you grow your business. If you belong to BNI, you are mandated to give referrals. You're mandated. You take courses on it. I three times I had to go to downtown LA for a class on growing business, and they spend hours training you on that and how to do that. They say that 60% of people get their new business by referrals, especially Jeremy, you doing what you're doing. It's all about people, right?
100%.
I got to meet with Maria for the first really good time today, and she's fascinating, gang. Maria, you want to go do a little deeper dive into who you are, what you've done in your history?
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate, the time to introduce myself even deeper. I grew up in the Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines, transferred here because I was offered a position here at work. I was with McCann Erickson, DDB. Well, when I transferred here, I was connected with the McCann. So, I was transferred to McCann office here. And then I handled, and as I was talking to Bob, I handled global companies with their marketing communications and integrated marketing communications program. So I drafted the strategies for them. It's not only the drafting portion, but also did the project management as well as bidding. I bid for new clients, overseeing the production process with the vendors and all of that, from ideation down to the measurement and all through in between. And then from there, I was associated with SBA, Small Business Administration, and SBDC, because I started my own little gig, and I got Hilton as an account with a radio company as well, and another client, which is merchant services. And then during the time that because I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, so I went into insurance, and that's where I met Juan. Is because I'm fascinated about, okay, the question is, where do people put money? And then Jeremy, you understand this too, right? Where do they put it, to keep it, right? Because we work and work and work, but how can we make the money work for us? And that's what Jeremy does. So I got out of the insurance field, but when I was in the insurance field, there was a question too, was like, how, the brochures, they would say, consult your tax professional about details. So I went into the taxation as well. So I managed 3 offices for Asia and our block. So along the time that I was doing all of this, I studied Lean Six Sigma, and I'm still continuing studies with psychology and stuff, because my passion is entrepreneurship. So that's why I'm here, because I'd like to work with people to elevate not just the companies in terms of profit, but also elevate ourselves as leaders, so that we can have what we call not success from, in my mind, but as actually fulfillment and contentment in our lives, so that we can leave behind something of worth to the, in the families that we leave behind. Not just for the profit. I do understand, money is important, which is great, but also the culture, our passions, our values that we leave behind. So that's why I'm here.
Great. Well, when I was, I think 19 years old, some guy convinced me to get a New York Life policy. Okay, he worked for New York Life, and I did. I'm 74. I've had that policy since I was 19, and to this day I can vouch for the fact it's paid it was called a 20-year whole life, so we only had to pay in for 20 years. The return on that policy has been phenomenal. And it's the best thing I ever did. Even my life insurance agent has passed away many years ago, but I still have that policy. And I get a dividend check once a year from them. And it's always a very healthy, great check. So I very much appreciate it. And I tell people about New York Life, and what a phenomenal thing. By the way, I was the head of consolidation accounting for Transamerica in downtown LA. And I used to consolidate. There were 17 companies. I had to consolidate the financial statements of all 17 companies and put them into one financial statement and send it up to the board of directors up in San Francisco. So I get all this stuff, it's our lives are made up of our experiences, are they not? Where you start out and where you end up could be completely different. What I'm doing now is like zero relationship to what I did when I was young. Same thing for all of you. So how do we help each other make more money? Isn't that the key to this?
Yes.
Thumbs up. I love it. Yeah. So start with referrals. And I will show you all the My City referral system. Not now. I don't think it's that deep to penetrate into it. But where are you going to make your money? What are you going to do to make more? So as a bookkeeper, by the way, I'm looking for a bookkeeper to work with in one of my groups. So the group that I have 8 o'clock every morning has been going on for 3 years now. They have a bookkeeper in it, but this group could use a bookkeeper. Because as we grow, there's no way I'm not going to have it grow, right, Marie?
Yes, Bob.
She's very shy. But I don't know what I would do without her. But she does all the, I give her all the problem stuff and then she fixes them. That's really the key to having a good head of social media, is fixing problems, right? Go ahead. Oh, can't hear you.
I have a question for Jeremy. So
Yes.
Jeremy, at this point, do you work with, so you're a captive agent, correct? Do you work with your own group? Are you a broker? Do you have your own team at this point?
So right now it's just me at the moment. I do work in Prudential's a little different
Okay.
than other places. It's kind of interesting. They have groups within groups.
Mhm.
So I'm in like kind of the name of my overall group is called Planwell Wealth Management, but it's myself. You know, I don't have any partners that I work with currently. I'm working on that. There's one person I do joint work with if we do 401ks. This mainly reason is I think it always looks better for companies when you have more than just one person working on your 401k. The more bodies, the better in that aspect. But as I grow, I probably will continue growing out my team and look for, marketing assistants and things along that line.
Yeah.
How do
Because
you
the
grow? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Maria.
No, I was gonna ask because it's like I said, you're growing, because we were, Juan and I were, we were, you have experience in that as well too, but we do have some ways to help you out when you grow in terms of the training your people and things like that.
Okay,
we'll,
perfect.
I still have my licenses, so
Oh, very
I have
nice.
my securities. I still have my securities license as well. So
Did you do 766 or 663?
no, I just, yeah, 663.
Okay.
663. And I believe Juan also has his. So yeah, so we have 663. So
Very nice.
Anybody
and we
here?
can't talk if we don't have the license. So that's why.
Exactly.
Anybody here not want to make more money? How much? There's a difference between want to grow and need to grow, right? How much do you need to grow? Jeremy, why don't we start with you?
I mean, I think need to grow is the key to it, especially, with just how life is. If you're not growing, you're declining. That's how I look at it. So, I mean, I think there's always that need to grow, but it has to be coupled with the want.
So what would you say if you put it in percentages? You need to grow 50%?
Probably 50-60% would be a good piece.
Okay. Melissa, how much do you need to grow?
Well, I'd say 75%, but that's just because I'm a bit harder on myself. I was always told revenge is proving somebody wrong. And since I was told my whole life I'd never do anything with my life, I have this compulsive need to prove everyone wrong. So I'd say 75% for me need to grow.
Interesting. Juan, I know you're working for somebody, but if you still have your insurance licenses, how much do you want to grow that?
Well, I do want to work over the 75% eventually. I'm actually starting thinking at the beginning of the year or sooner if I can. I need to step out of the corporate America and then start my own thing. That's the goal. But the goal first was to purchase the house because you had to get the W-2s and all that stuff. But that's done. So now I have to move into the new direction.
Got it. And then Maria,
And Juan, where are you out of? I'm sorry.
I'm right here. I'm right here in Oxnard in Ventura County.
Okay. Whenever you're interested, if you want, you can forward me your information. I'd be happy to pass along if you're wanting to get into the financial industry. I'd be happy to be a referral source into the industry for you, provide your resume, whatnot, to up the chain in that area.
Yep, Not a problem. I have your info here, so I'll save it.
Very cool. And then Maria. I'm not sure how
Yes,
you
sir.
would answer that question.
I'd like to grow. Okay. I said before, you know what? I agree with Jeremy. We keep on growing, growing, growing. So I'd like to grow about 80%, because I gotta put a number to it, right? I gotta move myself and just, because here's the thing though, the reason why I'm saying that is because I have been it's weird that I talk like this, but I'm also like a shy person. So I always believe like helping people. I like to help people out, and I'm in the background. I don't really present myself as me per se, but I do want to help people. So if you're asking me how I want to grow and how much I want to grow, yes, 80%, because that's encompassing everything. I want to grow 80%.
Wow. Wow. And okay, I'm gonna Marie, how much do I need to grow?
100%.
There you go. I love it. So just so you guys get an understanding of what we do, I'm a LinkedIn consultant. I also do Facebook, but primarily a LinkedIn consultant. I have a staff of like 12, 15 people that work for me. In October of 2018, LinkedIn pulled a major league no-no for me. Anybody downloaded your LinkedIn connections? Anybody request it? Okay.
Yes.
And what do you do with it?
I use it for filtering. If like for instance, I can run it through a business quality, see who's on do not call list, and then shoot them emails just saying, hey, how are you doing? We're connected on LinkedIn. Is there anything I can do to help?
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so in October of 2018, what LinkedIn did up to that point, they used to give you and you request a download, you get all the content. You get phone numbers, cities, states, zip codes, email addresses, and website addresses. As of October 2018, they changed things. All they give you when you request a download is a name and a vocation. They don't give you anything else. So I went out and I hired a bunch of people to do what I call reverse engineering. So we go in, we find all the content that would be helpful for you to grow your business, whether it's the email, whether it's a phone number, whatever it is, but it also helps you understand how to communicate with them and what you need to do. And one of the things I talk about routinely is today we have a very, very scattered society now. We're all over the place. And whether you call, text, email, use social media, go to website addresses, etc., to find the people and talk to them, you have to do all the above because of how everything is working nowadays. And my favorite expression is data is the new oil. So use it. And if you don't use it, you're not going to grow as fast as somebody else. And some people are pretty desperate to grow now because of the pandemic, right? Lots of change. So I try to use every tool possible. Whether I text people, I have both an iPhone and an Android. Okay. Why? Like wondering why? Because they do different things. Stuff that you can do on an Android, you can't do on an iPhone. There's a product on the Android or that works through the Android called mightytext.net. And we can send messages in groups of, Maria, is it 25 or 35? I don't remember.
25.
25? Okay,
Yeah.
so we could send groups of 25 text messages out individually. But you put in a common statement and you put people in a group and you can send that message. It goes out individually, it's not seen by the other people. And I use this product on a routine basis to try and communicate and talk to people. That's what we need to do, right? It always comes back to the same thing. You need to be talking to more people. So I also own a website called mycity.com, mycity.com. I purchased that site in 2001 or 2002. And the company that I bought it from was in liquidation of assets out of Florida. They were in bankruptcy. So I flew myself and my team to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and we negotiated with the owners of mycity.com, or the company that was the venture capital company that we met with. And bottom line, I ended up buying the company. At one point, mycity.com was one of the top 400, not 4,000, 400 most traffic sites in the world. They ended up going out of business. My stock reverted to the SBA. And I had shut the site down because of all the torturous stuff that was going on by the owners of a company called Crossbow Ventures. They went out of business. And so my stock reverted to the SBA. And they asked me what I was going to do with it. I said, nothing. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's going to stay shut down. So I said, so they asked me what I wanted to do. I said, just give me my stock back. That's all I want. So they did. And stock, the value, the amount of traffic skyrocketed. Couldn't do anything wrong. I owned 1,000 websites, by the way. And not to bore you guys on what I'm talking about, but just understanding history of what's gone on. So, like I said, we're in a changing world. And because of hacking going on and all this stuff going on there, if you're not staying on top of this, you got problems. So there's so much scrutiny, like belonging to somebody like Prudential, they scrutinize everything that goes on. There's compliance issues, right?
Oh yeah.
And you can't say anything, do anything without getting approval from your compliance team of what you say and do. So, we're living in a different world. We've got to figure out how to make it work. Anyway, I've talked way too long. Is there anything that other people would like to bring up? Questions? Anything? Nothing? Okay, so I wrote down how much everybody wants to grow. And I would love to help you grow. Do I sound believable? Be honest.
Yep.
Okay, so the thing to do, we need to get on the phone. We need to talk about how I can help you. And I'm not talking money, I'm talking about results. That's always the key. How many of you are feeling that this was a worthwhile meeting? You learned something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Yeah, it's really worthwhile to meet people. And besides that, I got to meet Juan again. It's been a while. And then Jeremy and Melissa. It's great. It's like I'm branching out.
Amen. Amen. And if you haven't met me through LinkedIn, I'll make sure that we connect. And then the key is to how can I help you by giving you a referral? Wouldn't you like that? So also put in who, specific vocations, and put it in the chat room. Anybody specifically a vocation that you would like to meet? CPA, entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera. Put that in there and we'll figure out through our system. We send out notes if you put in your email address when we're not connected and phone number in the chat, who to create so we can communicate an introduction to you. All right, can we do that?
Sure.
All right, so the objective is to grow this group. This is our, like I said, first time meeting. Would you come back? Be honest. Would you come back?
Oh, I'll definitely be back.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Jeremy, how about you?
Yeah, I would. It's always, as Maria said, it's always good to network and grow that connection base. That's how
Well,
you grow.
Maria, I got to spend some time with her this morning. And when I started finding out about all the stuff that she's done, who she's worked with, who her clients are, this is a woman, ladies and gentlemen, that you want to know. So if you haven't connected with her on LinkedIn, her information's in the chat room. And I'll make sure that each and every one of us are connected and talking and figuring out what comes next. All right. So we're a little bit early. We're about 20 minutes early for ending the meeting, but I'm sure you guys are probably a little bit bored with listening to the Bob voice.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the heat. Everybody, it's Friday and it's really hot pretty much everywhere with all of us. So I think even you are like, just
Jeremy, what's the
see.
temperature in Phoenix right now?
It's 98 right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I know. We're under 100. It's unbelievable.
That is insane. Well, who knows where
It's been raining the last day or so. So
it's my son said. So they got a bunch of rain. So yeah, interesting stuff.
monsoon season.
Yep. By the way, my son works at Mayo Clinic, so if you ever have any needs, you can go through me to get to him. I had to have some surgery recently, and he got me right into Mayo. Met with a guy that's in interventional radiology. These are the high tech doctors, and I got to meet with them. They did their thing. And I've got another surgery scheduled later in October. So
Does he refer even out here in California?
who?
Your son with Mayo Clinic? Because I know we have one out here. I just don't remember where.
Oh, I honestly I don't know. Just don't know. But he's from LA, so one way or another, we all know people, right?
Right. And can I also ask the group, like, since we have all the information here, there are things too that I'd like to share. So I'll just send some emails if that's okay with you guys, just information that may be an opportunity here and there that I hear, then I'll share it with you guys.
Sounds
Sure.
great. Well, this group meets, our objective is to meet once a week. If you think you got some value out of this and you want to invite some people, please, by all means, invite them. Okay? And then I'm going to work, by the way, on sending referrals to the members in the group. Okay?
And since this is our first meeting, maybe we could put together something like let's say a 5-minute, talk for some, maybe anybody here would have like an idea for anything that we'd like to improve on. Then we could have probably a 5-minute kind of like, I'm not going to say lecture. I don't like the word lecture, but more of a discussion point for growth.
That's a great point.
Head talk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We did something this morning in the 8 a.m. group, and Marie took an excerpt of the video and she sectioned that off. And now we're trying to figure out how to get that distributed. So the more you learn, the more you grow.
Yes, because one of the things that I didn't mention, if I may share it with the group, is that I also teach at a university here in LA. And one of the subjects I teach is brand management, sales and marketing for entrepreneurial business, professional selling, and also business development. So, I'm really all about, like Bob says, it's not a referral and as well as knowledge. And then with the referral, knowledge with application so that we can all grow. There's so much, I also believe that there's money in the world. There's money of transfer, right? Like Jeremy said, there's money transfer going on. There's money, abundance is around. So we can all prosper. So that's why we're here.
I love it. Such
Within the
great
next 10
value.
years, we're going to see the.
Say that again?
Yes, Jeremy?
Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, just to speak to Maria's point, the next 10 years, we're going to see the largest money transfer in history, going from one generation to the next.
Well, I'll keep you posted. I have a 99-year-old mother-in-law.
I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars are going to transfer over the next 10 years.
Yeah. No, we're definitely. I mean, it's going to happen, whether you live it or not.
Yeah, as they say, there's always money to be made when it comes to destruction and construction of things, right? So even in life, there's money to be made in life because we have to develop it while we're growing, but also in death because of transfer. And in business, there's also, development when you grow a business, but also when it ends, right? So there's always money going around.
And like you said, Jeremy, it's only going to accelerate. Interesting world we're in, huh? All right, listen, if you want to contact me, by the way, you can reach me at 310-736-5787. It's a mobile number. You can call me, text me. Love to hear feedback from you. And we'll be back here next week, same time, noon. All right, so thanks so much. I appreciate you all attending.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye all.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye now.